So here we go. Are your nipples sexy or ugly? Oh my God. Would you ever in a million years think that somebody would walk up to a woman on the street and say, "Are your nipples sexy or ugly?" Hmm. Ugly. They're ugly. I'm going to answer that. Ugly. What the hell? Who sucks your boobs more? What is wrong with these people? Hi, Ariel. Good morning. So, all right, here we go. I want to tell you a little story about what happened over the weekend. So I'm out on a Saturday night and enjoying a nice chocolate martini. You can see pictures of it on Instagram. And what do you think happens? Two guys come up and start talking to us. I'm with a friend of mine, and she's talking to the one guy. I'm talking to this guy, and I make it very clear that I have a boyfriend. I'm not interested in anything further, but I'm interested in just having a casual conversation about life, blah, 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 blah. And we had a really nice time. And I figured out he was like fascinated by the fact that I was just very open and honest and not acting like, aloof and all that kind of stuff the way a lot of women do when they're insecure. And they don't really know the person. And I could see now why he was fascinated about me being open, because he took things way, way to another level. So here's what happened. So I'm talking to him. The other friend's talking to the other guy. I make it clear that I'm, in a relationship. But I said, why don't we be friends? We can be friends on Facebook. Seems like a funny guy. He's a dentist. So I said, I actually have a friend to fix you up with, because I have a friend of mine who's single, and I thought it would be a good match. And he was very into it. So the next day, he messages me right away, first thing in the morning, and we started talking, and I said, why don't, maybe we can bring in the other friend into the conversation and we can introduce her. So this guy proceeds to message back and forth to us like, I'm canceling my date that I had this afternoon. I'm going to come out and meet you girls. And we're like, no, we have plans. And so that was a little red flag right there. And then he goes into, and I'm going to, he just kept messaging back and forth. So eventually I said, I got to go. And then apparently over the night, my friend that I wanted to fix him up with calls me up and says, you're not going to believe this guy Facebook messaged her like 4 or 5 times during the night at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, what is he thinking? He's asking when they can get together and all this other stuff. But I got to tell you something. She was very angry because, and I don't blame her, she had to work the next morning and she didn't want to hear bing, bing, bing all night long from some stranger who she's now never going to see. So the reason I tell you this whole story is this happens to me quite frequently, even getting messages on Instagram or Facebook. And these are from people I don't even know. So if you guys are just meeting someone for the first time and you're doing all this kind of crazy shit, like messaging the shit out of someone or texting in all hours of the night, I mean, it's just so counterproductive to what you want to accomplish. You want to be like a challenge. You want to be someone sought after. You don't want to be this guy that's so needy and it's like all over you. It's just like it pushes me and my friend way into the like defensive corner, and we don't want to be around you. So both of us blocked, him and defriended and all that other stuff. But I'm glad you agree with me, Mark. It's just like, I don't know what he's thinking, how he thought that was going to be a good thing. So, anyway, all right. So what do you guys think about all this? I'm just curious as to if you found yourself doing this kind of thing, what were you thinking? So LDA said, didn't know that was our problem. I'm not sure it is your problem. I'm just curious if this is something that happens to you guys, or if there's anybody on here who has tried that stuff and thought it might work and why it didn't work. And why you should change your tune and be more of a, someone who's got their own life to lead and not going to stop what they're doing just to stop and stalk the crap out of somebody. Okay. So, and for Ariel, what do you think about all that? I'm sure that's happened to you as well. Inside Out fan, shut the fuck you now. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so Dark Falcon on Instagram said, I used to do that. So, Dark Falcon, why did you do that? What were you trying to accomplish? Did you think that women want to be pursued like that? Is that what you thought would be a good thing? Or did you just, you go into autopilot, or someone never taught you that? So, this is interesting. This is Novi on Instagram said, I'm too busy for all that. And that's what I'm saying is, I'd rather be with the guy who's too busy to even make a plan than to be with someone who's like, I'm going to drop everything for you and let's make a plan right this minute. I think there's like somewhere in the middle, but I'm just interested as to what are people thinking when they get so intensely stalkerish. Okay. Oh, Inside Out said that means sup. Okay, Inside Out, for an older woman, when you say shut the fuck you now, does not mean sup. That means like something not nice. Okay, so I think you need to change that around and be a little classier and say good morning. Like Bonker said, hi, Karen. Or David says, good afternoon, Karen. Okay. Bryson said, I learned in my lesson because years ago I did that, online dating. So, yeah, if you catch yourself doing what I just said, which is getting so excited, and I'm sure that this guy really was super excited because my girlfriend is very attractive, and I'm sure that he saw that she's a beautiful woman, and he wanted to see her really badly, and he got super excited, and he's just like, well, what the hell, I'll just go for it. But 4 a.m. is very disturbing to some woman who's living alone. And even if you're not living alone, who wants to be disturbed in the middle of the night for anything? The reason that single moms keep their phones on is so that if there's an emergency, if their parents or kids or someone's sick, they can answer the phone. They don't want to hear bing, 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 when can I see you on Facebook? So anyway, you never want to fall into extremes one way or the other. You always want to have a middle ground in all facets of life. This is Novi. I agree. My motto is moderation is the key of life, and I agree with you on that as well. Let's see. Drink. I don't know what that means. Maybe you should set up a communications timeline. Yeah, I think it's common sense that you want to be treated the way you treat someone the way you want to be treated. So would you want a girl like stalking you at 4 a.m. going, when can we get together? You think she's a psycho. And I know that guys are scared of psycho girls, right? So don't be a psycho guy. Let's see. Bad Mom said he's just shooting his shots without hesitation. LOL. Yeah, exactly. You need to hesitate. Stop and don't react. If you have this trigger happy finger, then you know what the best thing to do is to turn your phone off, especially if you're drinking. And that was another thing. I think I should have realized the red flag was when I met him. He was holding a drink and he was shaking it like, when he was talking with his hands, and it was getting on me. So I think that most likely he was already pretty drunk because he was already shaking the drink and it was getting at me. But again, I don't judge someone. Okay, so he was at the Cubs game all day and, obviously he had a lot to drink. So that's okay. I mean, maybe he's an alcoholic. I don't know. But anyway, my mom wants to beat you up for not texting her back. What? What are you talking about? What in God's name are some of these people saying? Okay. No respect for ladies. Yeah, I mean, really important, really, really important for me is what Tucker Max said in the book, They Serve Beer in Hell. If women do not demand respect, they won't get respect. So I think, just if FYI, if you want to be with someone that you're, looking as a future partner or a future even friend with benefits or whatever it is, make sure you treat them with respect, and then you will get respect back. Let's see. Inside Out fan is ha ha ha. Okay, hi to the person that's in Arabic that I can't read. Why do girls on social media block or stop message you once you ask for their number? Well, I think it's very similar to what I'm talking about, Bad Mom. Again, I would just be very, very careful. Just I err on the side of don't text over texting. Again, if they're blocking you, It's most likely I guess what I would do is I would wait for them before you ask for their number. See if they want to go further into, more of a personal thing. See, everyone is very, very concerned with social media and I mean with online dating and that kind of thing turning into a stalker thing. So nobody wants to give out that phone number to have them have what happened to my friend and I. So if you're going to ask for a phone number, just wait a little bit. Just don't do it right away because you will probably get blocked. Because I blocked this guy right away. Boom. That was it. I heard what happened. He's blocked. There's no question that someone that does that kind of creepy stalker stuff at 4 a.m. is going to be blocked. Brendan says she hasn't blocked me yet. I hope she doesn't. Just take it easy. There's no rush. Just think of life as a long journey, and that if you really want to get to know someone and it's important to you, take very careful baby steps. You're better off wanting her saying, what happened to him? Why hasn't he asked me for my phone number? You're better off wanting that than the other way around. You want to be the challenge, not the other way around. At least I do. I'd much rather have the challenge. I mean, sometimes you could take it to extremes and then you're like, why hasn't he asked me out? Why is he only texting me? That kind of stuff. But mostly it's the other way around is going to be something to be frightened of. Call me Jack. That is my favorite name. And I have a teacher named Mrs. Lee. Okay, thank you, Inside Out. Unfortunately, I always forget what people's real names are. So if you haven't been here very much, I probably will forget your name. And I apologize. It's just my brain doesn't always work the way I want it to. And I'm trying to Instagram and YouTube at the same time. So I'm going to stop for a commercial break. Tell you guys I still need more patrons to come on my Patreon page because that's where I'm putting out some really exciting stuff. I put out a video recently. I asked porn stars at the Exotica convention 5 different questions, and they answered 5 unique ways to, 3, each one of them answered unique ways. So the first one is out. It's a freebie. It's on my YouTube channel. But after that, we're going to be going to put some of these on my Patreon page. So it's just a membership. For as little as $1, you can be invited to my Patreon page. And obviously $5 or $10 a month would not kill anybody. So join my Patreon page. And if you want to learn how to do that, it's right here on Patreon. I'm going to put it right here. And I hope that some of you guys do this because it shows me that you really do care about me and love me and want to support what I'm doing. A lot of people talk a good game, but they don't do it. Okay. Let's see. Hey, you skipped my messages. Not cool, KarenLee. Don't mean to skip your messages. Hey, Smitty, tell me what's happening. How do you become that challenge, junior fun? That is a good question. How do you become a challenge? It's pretty funny if you think about it. I'm sure this has happened to every one of you. The girl that you are not attracted to, that you don't chase after and that you're just a friend with or whatever, that you're yourself with, that's the one that's always into you, right? So try to think of the ones that you're really attracted to along those lines. I mean, I'm not talking about that whole negging thing. I'm just saying treat her like she's a fun friend at the beginning. And it doesn't mean friend zone. It means don't just go right for the kill and ask for the phone number right from the start. Just try to be a little bit more stand backish, just enjoy her company, use your sense of humor. But don't just treat her with respect and let her have the last text and try to think of how when you're with some girl that you're not attracted to, how you act. Because then if you act like that, you will see how fast this girl's run to you. It's so weird. It's counterproductive to think that way. You think it doesn't make sense for you to treat someone that you're really interested in just as you're mildly interested in her, but tone it down a little bit. And you'll see how fast she runs to you. If you start looking around the room and you start looking at other girls, not in front of her, don't be rude. But I'm saying if you start walking up to another girl, she all of a sudden is going to look at you like, maybe. Or maybe if another girl shows interest in you, all of a sudden she is going to be more attracted to you. It's just a strange little under the current game. It's just you always want something that you can't have, right? So just be a little bit more of a challenge without being gamey. So it's like a fine line. Joseph said, I text someone once at 4 a.m. Hey, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm super excited and can't wait. And she texted me back, that was totally worth waking up for. I'm not saying that you should never do that, but I would stay away from that, Joseph. I think you got lucky with that one. I'd be very cautious about texting anyone in the middle of the night. I would be pissed if my boyfriend did that to me because it's just disrespectful of the person's sleep. Sleep is important, so I wouldn't do it. I really think you're much better off just being that more, just a little bit more of a challenge. Paul Sanders, is the picture of you and Nina Hartley kissing still on your Patreon page? Yes. So if you want to see that picture of me and Nina Hartley having a little kiss on the lips, it's not like pornographic, obviously. It's on my Patreon page. So that's Paul saying join the Patreon page. Let's see. Is asking for a phone number right away in person a good conversation starter? No. I wouldn't want it right away. Like, if that happened to me, I probably would give him a fake number. No, you don't want to ever ask for the phone number right from the get-go. Phone number is after the person trusts you. No one's going to trust you without knowing you. Not in this day and age. It's really a scary world out there for females. You know, I mean, there's so many ways that people can start stalking you that never used to be. Like when I was growing up, you know, there was only home phones. We didn't even have cell phones. So, I mean, at the beginning, if a girl is getting like, you know, I'm mildly interested in this guy, but if he starts asking me for my phone number right this second, it's scary. So I wait a little bit. Wait till you've had a really good conversation. I wouldn't even. It's so much cooler if you ask for it later on, and I wouldn't even ask for it as much as say I'd like to take you out. You know, let me get your number. Like more like, almost like if she says, I don't know, then you know, don't push it. You know, it's an attitude. Bean is making a negative face, and I don't know why. I hate all these games when it comes to dating MILFman. It's not a game. It's just, I don't know how to say it. It's not games. Games are when you play like, you know, negging and or just don't ask her on purpose just to see what she's going to say, or wait 2 days before you call her when you say you're going to call her. Those are games. I'm just saying, if you're going to ask for her number, get to know her first. She's not going to give you her number if she doesn't know you, especially if she's got a lot of guys asking for her number, and you got to be different. CK85, good morning to you. Come over to fight my mom. She will beat your ass, ugly ass. All right, Inside Out fan. Sorry, you got to go in timeout now. That was not good. Case Smitty, I met a woman online. We messaged each other a while, then we exchanged phone numbers. We talk twice a week. There you go. Much more of what I'm talking about. There's a natural progression of trust that a girl is going to have. To me, I don't know about everybody else. I need to trust the person before I'm giving out any kind of phone number. I don't even know why I even bothered. I guess I allowed this guy to Facebook me because we had this huge conversation. We were laughing and things like that. I didn't think it was going any more than friends. I made it clear. He's blocked now because of what he did to my friend. It's not games, it's a strategy. Kind of, yeah, Bean. It's strategy, or it's just a way to respect each other, I guess. We started as good friends. Yeah, a lot of people don't believe in the friends thing. Like they say good friends put you in a friend zone. I don't believe that at all. My husband and I were just good friends for like a year. We would tell each other everything. And then when we started seeing each other as more than friends, he said to me, you told me so much more about yourself when we were just friends. So I think it's great to be friends first. I mean, just get to know the person. Then you can build the sexual tension into it. But to start out is like, I need your number right now, and I'm going to text you at 4 a.m. and I'm going to expect some better results than what happened with my friend, is barking up the wrong tree for most of the people I know. Have you ever met Janet Manson, Stanley Smith? No, I don't know if that's a porn star or who that is. Let's see. Give the ladies a chase, the Milkman 69. Yep. Let's see. I think we might not think. Okay. I think they might. Okay. Dark Falcon has said, I think they might not think we are totally interested. Okay. What if they do think that? I mean, if it was me and I'm thinking that guy's not totally interested, I'm going to want to do something to make him interested in me. If you think that's a game, call it a game. But I think that's like, it's flirting. It's flirting. There's a difference between, I'm getting all excited, I can't even talk. There's a difference between flirting and game playing. Maybe that's what it is, okay? Flirting is trying to get her to want you to ask her for her number, okay? Game playing is, I'm not going to call you for 2 days and see if you like think I'm a nice person when I tell you I'm going to call you and I'm not going to call you. That's game playing and it's stupid. But flirting is fun. You don't understand what I'm saying? Got to give them the fun of the chase. That's right, the milkman. That's what I'm talking about. Really should just ignore women completely? No, don't ignore women completely because then that pisses them off too. Dark Falcon's trying to do that nowadays. That's probably the good. I don't know. It's a hard call. Now, the milkman said I used to call women at 5 a.m. in college all the time. Okay, it may work for some people. I can just tell you that it ain't going to work for me, ain't going to work for my friends. And I don't know, maybe it's just older women. It could be younger women like to be called at 4 in the morning. I'm going with they don't. When I flirt, I use analogies when I flirt and it worked very well. Oh, is it true that women knows right away whether or not they're going to give their number or sleep with you? No. How about that, MILF man? It's not necessarily true. I literally had so many times that I thought there's no way that I'm going to sleep with this guy, and I ended up sleeping with him. If a guy knows how to be a good communicator and listener and just is himself and he's natural, and the more I get to know him, I mean, okay, put it this way. I couldn't be repulsed by the guy, but I would say that if you get to know the person and their personality shines through, they become much more attractive. Should you be more upfront with females if you know what you want? Junior. I would say being upfront is okay as long as it's not coming off as being arrogant. But, I mean, if you after talking to them are very confident with yourself and you're saying, I am very attracted to you. I know this may sound bold, but I'd love to see you again. And see what she says. I mean, you have to kind of play it, go back and forth, and see if she's showing some interest. But don't go blowing it by calling her at 4 in the morning. I would never be in a sexual relationship with someone I wasn't friends with first. This is my female that's on here, Ariel. Always has some good things to say. So there you go. Ariel and I both agree. We need to be somewhat friends first before you get into sex, because sex is going to suck if it's like a one-night stand and the person just doesn't know how to please you because you obviously don't feel even comfortable enough to tell them how to please you. So that's why I don't like one-night stands all that much. Not that there's anything wrong with it, because some people like it, and I think if you're single and you are just really connecting with someone, go for it. But, it doesn't work for everybody. Show me your boobs. Don't text people in the wee hours. You never know who may intercept the phone that late. And that's another thing. You text someone in the middle of the night and they're with another guy. I mean, if you did that to me and my boyfriend found out, it would be bad news, because he's very protective of me. Games people play because night or day, it's just not matching. But they should do keeps me feeling blue. CK8085, why am I not understanding what you're saying? There must be an autocorrect. Inside Out fan, you said you're sorry? Good. I'm glad you said you're sorry. This has happened to a few people on here before where I've blocked them. Please be respectful. Otherwise, you'll be blocked permanently. LDA, note taken. Okay. Chief 122. Maybe stalkers are cuckold material. My girlfriend followed her to my girlfriend's friend followed her to her gym. Saw her talking to a muscular black guy. He accused her of having an affair. He ended up driving her to him. A cuck Tim. Okay, that's a whole different story. Yeah, that you're going on a chief 122. I think that for the average person, we're not talking about cuckolding. And we did talk about it a few episodes ago. I'm talking about just for the average Joe, finding the average person that they're attracted to, whether it be male or female, in a bar, in a coffee shop, in a gym, walking down the street, whatever it is. I say go for it, introduce yourself, have a nice conversation. Do not stalk. Do not beg for the phone number like you're just needy. And I mean, no woman wants a needy guy. It's so annoying. Inside Out said, I'm very sorry. I was just playing with you. I like to play with people like that. Might I suggest, Inside Out, that that's not a good way to play with people because we resent being annoyed by those kind of overly sexual, negative comments. Hurt Locker, no, of course you're not blocked. He said amen to Ari. No one's blocked here, except even I've already unblocked Inside Out fan. Okay. When do you think will be the best time to ask for a phone number then? Okay, so Dark Falcon, I'm going to walk you through what I would think. Okay, you meet somebody in a bar. You're going to talk about your surroundings. And by the way, if you want to get much more explicit, much more information in a very high quality video, go to my website, which is my name that you found right here, KarenLee Potter, and download How to Catch a Cougar. It applies to all women. KarenLee Potter. So I'm going to just give you the step-by-step. This is from my standpoint. You meet somebody in this bar. You're talking about something in the surroundings. You're getting a little flirty. You could even touch her leg if it's a conversation's cruising in a good direction. You're not going to be overly obnoxious and needy, and you're not going to ask right from the get-go for the phone number. You're just going to keep it light for a while. You might even walk away from her and say, I got to go talk to some friends. You know, you're going to be here for a while, and then come back to her. Or you might say, I got to leave right now. I haven't had a chance to finish this conversation. I would love to, talk to you sometime or ask you on a date and see what she says. If she says, yeah, here's my number, or even if you just start, ask her, say, hey, are you on Facebook? Can I add you as a friend? Anything like that. Just don't come off as overly aggressive. Joseph, is stalking a bad boy versus good boy a thing? Is stalking a bad boy versus a good? So Joseph, are you asking if a girl is a stalker? Either way, I don't like stalking. Stalking is really intimidating to me. Okay, so the best time to ask for that phone number would be at the end of that whole interchange I was talking about. Hurt Locker, okay, I put a few comments before and I felt like I didn't see them. I know, I've got the live chat going crazy over here and I got the Instagram. Ari, I see stalking as a sign of mental imbalance, which is plain scary. Yes. So women don't like psycho guys any more than guys like psycho girls. If the guy calls and texts at 4 a.m, which is what this guy did, we think of him as having mental instability. And that means, red flag, don't give the guy a chance. So you don't want to be thought of as a cuckoo nut, right? Mostly it's a situation when people play games with their friends, and I didn't have a lot of friends when I grew up. So it doesn't matter. If you've got friends or not friends, you still don't want to be that guy. If there's not that many people around you, just try to remember that less is always more. So the less you speak and the more you listen, the better chance you are of getting phone numbers in the end. So this has been a great conversation. I'm glad that you guys all participated both on Instagram and YouTube. I'd love to talk more to you. I'd like to talk more personally to you. I do that on my Patreon page. Again, join me on Patreon for as little as $1, $5, $10 a month. $25 is ideal. I will message you back and forth. A lot of times people get angry at me because I don't have a chance to message them back on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or whatever. I just physically can't do it all, but in Patreon, I do. My patrons are my favorite people in the world because they support what I do. And that's the only way I can continue to provide these live streams for you. So if you go to Patreon and you sign up, you will become one of my elite Karen's crew, and you will be able to get all kinds of goodies like free videos and pictures and stuff that you don't get normally. So it's to your advantage. You'll definitely get to see those private videos I was talking about when I interviewed the porn stars at Exotica. Brady, hey Karen, I've noticed that I was kind of needy by texting a lot with some women, but it took me a while to break that habit, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, Brady, you want to break the habit. It's so easy to fall into it, and it's so bad for you because it's just like the more needy you are, the worse it gets. Paul saying I chat a lot with him on Patreon. Yeah, I've gotten to be very good friends with people like Paul on Patreon because he supports me and he always helps me out. So thank you, Paul. And thank you, the rest of the people on Patreon that are on this live stream. And you don't, by the way, have to even give your real name if you're doing this. And no one needs to know that you're a patron. Don't hate the game, hate the player. Exactly. There's a game going on, but you don't need to play it. Stalking is a bad thing sometimes, man. Yeah. Okay, so guess what time it is? It's that time that I got to leave you. If you haven't checked out Sex Talk with My Mom, the podcast, we're on 2 podcasts that are very popular today. I'm shooting 2 podcasts. I say shooting because we're going to do it via Skype. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. There's a video of my son and I on Sex Talk with My Mom going on a road trip, which is very funny, very revealing. And the podcast is great. We'd love to have you review it. It's called Sex Talk with My Mom. Guess what? I'm the mom. Okay. So here we go. I'm putting it here. Sex Talk with My Mom. All right. I love you too, guys. I hope you guys learned something. Bye, Ari. Ari, check out Sex Talk with My Mom and write a rating and review, you guys. I know you guys would love this. It's such a funny podcast. We were rated number 3 in Esquire Magazine's top 10 sex podcasts in 2017. And if you like the way I talk here, you can imagine how I talk with my stand-up comedian son. It's very, very funny. And you could check out our page on Instagram and YouTube, and of course our podcast, which is on iTunes. I gotta run. I love you very much, and see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.